The vial sat there in an oddly tantalizing way, coated in dust and surrounded by debris. At first glance, it looked like something discarded, a container of some old, unremarkable fluid. But as Eric stepped closer, the dim light from his headlamp again caught the oily sheen of its contents. A light, thin film of liquid clung to the glass, like the thin, dirty layer of oil on a folding knife, oiled and stored, undisturbed, in a drawer for years. He glanced down at his livestream feed. The comments were flooding in, people reacting to his exploration in real time. But he was drawn to the vial now, and the viewers would have to wait. The oil inside the vial didn't look especially interesting. It didn't shimmer or glow. It looked like nothing remarkable at all. The smell, though, was another story. As he leaned in closer, its sharp, rancid odor hit him like a bucket of fermented fish bait, concentrated by some alchemical method into the tiny vial. Without thinking and defying all logic, Eric reached down and picked up the vial. He turned it slowly in his fingers. The liquid inside moved easily, a light substance like turpentine or mineral oil, but with that pungent, sour stench that lingered in the air. He tilted the vial slightly, watching the way the oil lightly coated the inside the glass in an almost hypnotic way. Although it didn't register immediately, Eric's fingers began to tingle ever so slightly, as if the oil were seeping into his skin. He frowned, feeling uneasy. The thin film of oil on the vial clung to his flesh and spread more than he expected. The sensation on his fingers, though subtle, stirred a flicker of concern. He hadn't even touched it long enough for it to have any effect, or so he thought. Yet something about it felt inexplicably wrong. The live stream comments were flooding in. What the hell is that? Put it down. What is it? Don't touch it. But Eric wasn't paying attention. He glanced at the vial again and quickly set it back on the table. It wasn't glowing, moving, or alive. Yet, for the first time in a long while, a quiet sense of regret and hesitation crept up his spine. He let out a quiet breath and stepped back from the table, scanning the room with his eyes. The basement felt cold, and the air seemed suddenly heavier, more oppressive. It was as if the building itself was holding its breath. The smell of oil clung to his fingers, now taking on an iron-like scent. He rubbed his hand on his pants, hoping to rid himself of the lingering sensation of oil seeping into his pores. As Eric looked around the lab, he noted its disarray: rusted equipment, broken glass, and dusty shelves, stacked with old, forgotten files. He wondered why a simple, unassuming vial had caught his attention. It didn't seem special, yet it felt as though it had taken center stage amidst the chaos, as if it held the key to understanding the purpose of this unexpected lab. It was clear that the lab existed for a reason, and that reason seemed to extend far beyond the typical forgotten relics found in urban exploration. Eric turned back to the camera, adjusting it slightly as the chat continued to buzz with messages. "Is this place abandoned?" someone typed. "What did you find?" another asked. He could feel the excitement in the comments. It wasn't just the usual, "Whoa, cool," or "Man, that's creepy." No, this was different. There was an edge to his audience, as if they all sensed something was off, too. But Eric couldn't quite put his finger on it. Yet. He glanced away from the chat to take in the space once more. Files were scattered across a nearby table, with stacks of old papers covered in faded handwriting. He wasn't sure what to make of it yet, but one thing was certain. This place was more than just a forgotten office building. It was a hidden piece of something much larger, and whatever it was, it had been left behind for a reason.